Before doing a beginner's guide for Ultimate Alliance 3, I like to do a fair bit of preparation. Now for this Doctor Strange one, I actually travelled forward in time and experienced 14,605 different timelines to see if we could find a version of Doctor Strange who felt more underwhelming than the version we have in game at the moment, and sadly I wasn't able to. Now to let you know why that's the case in this video, we'll start off by looking at a quick overview of him and also we'll check out his stats. We'll then have a look at his abilities. Next up it's his top 10 team bonuses. Following on from that we have our synergy attack guide. We'll then have a look at the build options available and the best ice weight you can equip on him. We'll check out his alternative costume and then we'll finish off just having a quick summary of everything we've covered. So let's jump in and start off with the overview. We will also include the stats as well. Doctor Strange then is a character that's actually very similar to another weak character, Scarlet Witch. Now they both fill support roles, and I have to wonder if the developers were a bit worried that making a support class too powerful would make them feel mandatory, and that's why these characters are as weak as they actually are. Now when we look at the abilities anyway, two of them have the ethereal tag, one of them is a pure heal, one of them has the melee tag which is just completely random. His hero trait is flight, which is a useful hero trait. When we look at his stats, definitely on the lower side. His strength is F, and that will affect Crimson Bands of Cyttorak. Vitality is F, so he's exceptionally squishy. Mastery is a C, so that's decent, and it does affect two of his skills that have that ethereal tag. Resilience is a B, durability is an F, and then finally energy is an A, so you can spam skills to an extent with the energy being a little bit higher, but you will still need to manage them. Now that's the overview, let's have a look at his abilities. First ability we have here is Flames of the Foultine, and this one is actually pretty decent. It's got the ethereal tag, damage is up at an A, staggers down at a B, so you want to use another character to stagger or stun a boss on an elite before you actually use this, and it also has the burn synergy trait, so it can add the fire element to ally attacks as well. So in that respect it is decent. Due to the fact you're rooted, it can make you a bit vulnerable, but this is where the next skill actually comes in. The next ability we have here is Crimson Bands of Cyttorak, and this ability from a utility perspective is actually pretty decent. It's very similar to Spider-Man's move where he fires out his webs and binds characters, except Doctor Strange will fire out magical beams to actually bind the characters, and that's why it's got the bind trait on it, and it's got the melee trait as well, which potentially makes sense because it's tied in with bind, but it makes it more difficult to actually itemise for him. Now this particular one, I like to use this before using Flames of the Foultine or Bolts of Baltac, because both of those skills actually root you, and while you're casting animation you will still be vulnerable. So with his vitality being down at F, a lot of times you could actually get taken out if you cast those skills if you've not went ahead and cast this first to actually bind them. So just try and start off your rotation using this. This next ability here is one that when I first heard about characters like Strange and Wanda having healing abilities, it really excited me and made me want to build them as part of the team, but the heal is massively underwhelming. Due to the amount of burst damage you take in the game, it's just not effective. It doesn't actually affect Doctor Strange either, so in a way it's actually a weaker version of the already underwhelming one that Wanda has, so this is one I don't really use at all. The final ability we have here is Bolts of Baltac. So this particular one, you'll want to cast Crimson Bands of Cyttorak first, so the enemy's actually bound and they can't attack back, because you will be rooted while you're casting the animation for this, and if he's low vitality you can get taken down on occasion. Now this one is really nice at actually taking out trash, so you'll use this for your trash, you'll use Flames of the Foultine on a boss when they're actually stunned. Overall then his abilities are decent. You've got some crowd control, you've got some single target damage, you've got some trash clearing skills as well, but it's just that heal, it really does feel like a wasted slot unfortunately. Now with the abilities covered, let's have a look at the top 10 team bonuses. So we have our usual suspects here for our top 10 team bonuses, and as always I'll mention at the start here that don't feel forced to run these teams at all. Yes, the bonus is nice, but you can also get bonuses via your isolate as well, and the game doesn't require you to min-max in order to complete it. Now, the top bonus anyway, it's Electra, Psylocke and Wolverine. They're always at the top, it seems, for characters. They come in at 23%. In 10th place for Doctor Strange, we have Gamora, Psylocke and Wolverine, and they offer 17%. Now, the breakdown of the top one equates to 12% strength, 4% durability, 2% mastery, 4% vitality, and then 1% energy. So that's the top 10 team bonuses. Let's have a look at the synergies now. When it comes to synergy attacks, then like Wanda, who we've mentioned a few times in this video, Doctor Strange does come in at the lower end of the scale. He's only got two options available. They come from Burn and also Beam. If you look at the top 5 characters he synergizes with, you've got Luke Cage, Drax, Miss Marvel, Wolverine and Wasp, and then finally your bottom 5 would be Elsa Bloodstone, sadly, because I like to run the two of them together, Deadpool, Thanos, Spider-Man and also Scarlet Witch as well. So they're the characters you want to avoid if you're trying to do Infinity Child. It requires you to get a set amount of synergy damage. Now the next section we'll check out will be the build options that are available. When it comes to build options, I would say the most obvious one is your range support. So with this you would increase the crit hit chance of ethereal attacks by 11.1%. Yes, Crimson Band doesn't have the ethereal tag, but you're not using that for damage, you're using that to actually bind, so this will allow you to use your 2 damage skills and get the most out of them. Next up, you've got increased damage of ethereal attacks by 19.2%. You can increase the crit hit chance of all attacks by 8%, or increase the damage to enemies by 16.5%. And then finally you've got the mastery increase of 13.7%, but that's the least optimal one. Now you really want to go for the increase in the ethereal attacks. Now if you want to go for something a bit different, just for some fun and variety, you can go for crowd control, and you can increase the duration of binding effects on enemies, and that way you can bind them for longer with Crimson Band. But that's the build options available. Let's now have a look at the alternative costume. When it comes to alternative costumes, we just have another simple recolouring this time, but for this particular stage, this is actually one that I know a lot of people have had trouble with trying to beat it within the set amount of time it provides you with, so I'll give some advice here, and if you want me to do a full playthrough then let me know in the comments. But for this one here, the key is to take down Dormammu's shield. Now when you beat the mindless ones, that's the minions you can see on screen at the moment, then they'll drop one of the stones. You pick that up. Now on the left and the right of the screen, and you can actually see I'm doing it right now, you have the magical globes that fire out electricity or fire. When you're holding a stone, they will actually charge that, so do not take out these magical spheres, actually leave them there so they can charge the stone for you. Once it's fully charged, you'll then take down his shield, as we've just done there, and then you'll follow up with the Flames of the Faltine skill as well. That's the one that does the most single target damage. You can see I'm absolutely shredding through them when I'm doing that. But that's the setup to use. If you do have any troubles, then again let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do a full run through. But with that covered, let's just finish up with a quick summary. So I've already touched on this in the video, but Doctor Strange in a lot of ways is very similar to Scarlet Witch in that they are a support character, and it feels like the developers have neutered the character to an extent, because if it was a powerful support character then you may feel forced into actually running them, and I can understand that perspective, but it means unfortunately that particular hero suffers as a result of it. So he is definitely an underwhelming hero, and he is low tier without a doubt. But again, as I've mentioned in these videos, if you're a fan of a particular character and you spend enough time with them, getting used to how they play and all the different ISO setups you can use on them, then I'm sure you will still be able to have fun. But you just have to bear in mind, with certain characters you won't be doing as much damage, or they may be won't have as much utility as other ones. So Doctor Strange does have utility. I would like to see them potentially up the crowd control aspect, make it a bit more powerful, definitely do something with the heal as well. That's got to be a whole lot stronger than it is at the moment. So as always, let me know in comments below if you've been playing Doctor Strange, how you're actually going on with him, if you agree that he's a low tier hero or if you feel he should be higher than that. If you've enjoyed the video as well, feel free to hit the like button, the share button, leave a comment below to help drive engagement, and really thanks for tuning in once again, and I'll see you all again soon.